It's time for another doubleheader in IPL 2021 as we start off with an afternoon contest. It's Mumbai versus Rajasthan today in Delhi, where it expected to produce another run fest. After a disappointing start, Sanju Samson's side certainly took all the criticisms to the chin. They bounced back in style against Kolkata as they registered an emphatic win. While defending champions have also surprisingly struggled due to some reason, Mumbai would be raring to go with some winning momentum going into a crucial phase of the season. Both the sides would certainly look to start their Delhi leg on a positive note. It's Sanju Samson versus Rohit Sharma tonight. Let's see who comes out on top.
Hello everyone, my name is Shayanto Shengupto and you are watching Sports Tigers 10 over segment. So blockbuster Wednesday, we have two games in store for you. First game, Mumbai Indians versus Rajasthan Royals. It's been a humdinger so far. First we saw Rajasthan Royals dominance, then mid-innings. This is the mid-innings, so sorry, that is my bad. Then we saw Mumbai Indians put the brakes and actually coming into the match. So both the teams have actually had a very shaky campaign so far. Both of them have 4 points and this is going to be a very interesting game for them. 2 points up for grabs. So to talk about the first innings, to talk about Mumbai Indians and Rajasthan Royals innings, I'm going to call my guest and fantasy expert Ashwin to the show.
Thanks, Shayanto. Thanks. Hi.
Hi Ashwin, what are your initial thoughts about this game? I mean, it's been two-phase so far. First, we saw Rajasthan Royals ki acha pradarshan because more or less everybody's actually played their part today. Openers who came in at number 3, number 4, all of them have contributed today. So, what are your initial thoughts about this innings?
It's going to be a tough game for Rajasthan here. जैसा कि you're talking about contributions. So contribution अगर आप देखें वो at the top तो आ गए, but at the bottom जो आने थे वो शायद नहीं आए, उसकी वजह से momentum lose हो गया. Because the kind of start that we got from the openers, I mean Rajasthan, the kind of start they got from the openers with Buttler and Yashasvi looking really good. बहुत अच्छे लग रहे थे, बहुत अच्छे एकदम set लग रहे थे. Were targeting the bowlers really well, going very aggressive. मगर Rahul Chahar once again doing the job for Mumbai, एकदम momentum पे break लगाते हुए. And I think they've definitely fallen short of the target because Shivam Dube from after the point that he came in, एक अच्छी partnership उन्होंने set करी with Sanju Samson, and I thought अब accelerate करेंगे, but that's the problem with Mumbai because जब death bowling करने आते हैं Bumrah and Bolt, it becomes very difficult to target them. So that's why we've always spoken about Bumrah and Bolt कि अगर आप मुंबई के against खेल रहे हो तो आपको दिमाग में रखना है कि आपके पास सिर्फ 15 ओवर ही हैं. 15 ओवर में आपको अपना टारगेट सेट करना है बिकॉज जो 5-6 ओवर बुमरा बोल्ट के होंगे उनमें आप उनको टारगेट नहीं कर पाओगे. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट हैपेंड. They were looking very set, Samson and Dube in the middle with the 50 plus partnership, but they couldn't accelerate, and I think a score like 170 definitely short on par.
Bilkul, I really like the point which you made that Rajasthan Royals when they are playing against Mumbai Indians or for the matter any team when they are playing against MI, उनके पास 5 ओवर कम रहता है because बुमराह और बोल्ट की bowling काफी अच्छा रहता है. But we've seen that Trent Bolt has been a little off color in the previous few games. Even आज हम लोग देखे थे कि काफी expensive रहा है, except for that toe-crushing yorker that got Sanju Samson bowled. But I want to talk to you about Trent Bolt. What exactly is happening with Trent Bolt? I mean, we thought that वो अच्छा बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन करेंगे Delhi at ground at Delhi because he's played for the franchisee Delhi Daredevils, which was previously known as Delhi Daredevils. But what is exactly happening with Trent Bolt? I mean, why is he being a little expensive? Apart after that game from KKR वाला game के against he took 3 wickets. उसके बाद थोड़ा off color आया. So what do you think is going wrong for a champion bowler, for a world class bowler like Trent Bolt?
See, इस तरह की चीजें आपने देखी हैं with other bowlers also. अगर आप जैसे दिल्ली में अगर रबाडा की बात करें, so वहाँ पे भी कुछ इसी तरह का सिचुएशन है where he's going for a lot of runs, but I won't be too concerned. अगर मैं मुंबई स्क्वाड का लीडर हूँ तो I don't think I'll be very concerned because अगर आप देखें तो बोल्ट ने आके हमेशा क्रूशल टाइम्स पे विकेट्स लिए हैं, बारिंग में भी 1 or 2 odd गेम्स हमेशा डेथ में आके विकेट्स लिए हैं, स्पेशली इस टूर्नामेंट में. एंड आई थिंक ही इज बॉलिंग far better in the death in this tournament compared to any other year before that. So I think बहुत ही जबरदस्त improvement किया उन्होंने अपनी गेम में in 2021 IPL because डेथ बॉलिंग बहुत ज्यादा बेटर नजर आती हुई, एंड ऑलरेडी जब आपके पास किंग ऑफ यॉर्कर्स बुमराह हैं दूसरे एंड पे, और उस तरह की यॉर्कर्स अब ट्रेंट बोल्ट भी डालना शुरू करते हैं, तो आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि कितना डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है मुंबई को टारगेट करना इन द डेथ ओवर. सो yes, you might see the scorecard and you feel कि अरे बहुत expensive रहे हैं, but I think the story on the field is very different. Story on the field is that the moment he comes on, very difficult to target. You were getting lucky to get those boundaries. अगर आप end में भी पराग की boundaries देखें तो मतलब he was getting lucky हो कि edge के चौके जा रहे हैं और वो सब हो रहा है. तो you have to get lucky with Bolt कि वो थोड़ा उनकी line off हो जाए और कुछ edge से कुछ पीछे boundaries निकल जाए. Otherwise, I think he's been pretty accurate, and हमेशा आपको वो Yorkers डाल के death में wickets दे रहे हैं. So I don't think I would be too concerned about his form.
जी बिल्कुल, रोहित शर्मा एक ऐसा कैरेक्टर है जो काफी कोई कंसर्न दिखाते नहीं है. इवन इफ ही इज कंसर्न ही वोंट शो दैट, ही इज नॉट दैट एनिमेटेड एज समबडी लाइक विराट कोहली. बट दैट्स अ वेरी वैलिड पॉइंट व्हिच यू रेज्ड दैट yes, Trent Bolt has been a little expensive, but that doesn't get reflected in his bowling, actual bowling on the ground. So let us quickly एक बार झलक दे देते हैं स्कोर कार्ड पे. Rajasthan Royals 171 for 4. They finished off the innings. Opening the batting, Jos Buttler and Yashasvi Jaiswal. They basically carried on the form from the previous game. KKR के साथ काफी बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन था दोनों बैट्समैन का. They are carrying that rich vein of form from that. Jos Buttler 41 in 32 deliveries. Yashasvi Jaiswal, he's once again proved that yes, he belongs to this international stage with so much runs in the domestic circuit. He's translated that to the IPL. At number 3, we had Sanju Samson, who batted with a little responsibility too. He's the captain of the ship. He scored 42 runs, where he smashed 5 boundaries too. Shivam Dube थोड़ा uneasy लग रहा था, थोड़ा comfortable नहीं थे, but then he did smash a few sixes. He was hitting in that cow corner region between mid wicket and square leg, and काफी अच्छा प्रदर्शन रहा था शिवम दुबे से भी. डेविड मिलर एक छोटा सा कैमियो किया. He just hit one boundary, and Riyan Parag, as Ashwin rightly mentioned, that was a lucky boundary which he got against Trent Bolt. अगर मुंबई की बॉलिंग की बात करें तो ट्रेंट बोल्ट के बारे में हम लोग ऑलरेडी चर्चा कर चुके हैं. 4 ओवर में 37 runs he conceded. जसप्रीत बुमराह again one of the best bowlers always. You know, whenever there is Jasprit Bumrah or Trent Bolt bowling, the opposition का दिमाग में always एक डर सा पैदा रहता है कि always there is little bit of pressure on Jasprit Bumrah. Jayant Yadav was a little expensive today, just not his day. He conceded 37 runs in 3 overs. Nathan Coulter Nile looked good except for the few freebies which he gave. Rahul Chahar once again, pick up the bowlers, picked up 2 overs, 2 wickets, just conceded 33 runs. And Krunal Pandya का ज़्यादा usage नहीं रहा है. He just covered up 1 over from Jayant Yadav, so he conceded 12 runs. Ashwin, now let us talk about Rajasthan's batting lineup over here a little bit, okay? So Sanju Samson a completely new person hai. He's not the person who was in the previous IPL or in the first couple of games. He looks like a completely different figure. The last game against KKR 2, he anchored the innings. He remained not out today. Unfortunately, he was bowled by Trent Bolt. So what do you think? What tweak did he do to his batting technique, or maybe his mentality? Did Kumar Sangakkara did what do you think actually happened with Sanju Samson?
संजू सैमसन की बात करें, आई थिंक उन्होंने कोई ऐसा चेंज लाया नहीं है अपनी बैटिंग में. टेक्निकली अगर आप देखें, आज भी वैसे ही अग्रेसिव बैटिंग करते, फ्री बैटिंग करते, तो फ्लेयर जैसे वो पहले भी करते आए हैं. इट डजंट रियली शो टू मच. आज भी अगर देखें तो वो प्रेशर में आ सकते थे कि अरे 2 ओपनर्स वी लॉस्ट एंड मेरे थोड़ा संभल के खेलना है. बट आते इन्होंने पहली बॉल पे बाउंड्री लगा दी, पहली ही बॉल पे अगेंस्ट कृणाल पांड्या. सो दैट जस्ट शोज द माइंडसेट, द फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड दैट ही इज इन. ही इज रेडी टू be aggressive from ball 1. He was in the game. He knew कि कृणाल पांड्या is one of those bowlers जिनको टारगेट किया जा सकता है compared to any other bowler in the Mumbai's lineup. So his presence of mind was excellent. I felt at that point, and it's never easy to come out and hit a boundary on the first ball. Never easy, especially if you're a captain. You know that there's a price to your wicket. So I don't think there's any change technically per se. What I would say is that probably he's become more responsible. I think कहीं he has realized कि उनकी एक जिम्मेदारी है बतौर कप्तान, that he's leader of the squad and needs to get more consistent, and he's the backbone of this middle order. Yes, backbone का middle order है, और अगर वो उनकी विकेट जल्दी चले जाए तो I think that will be a problem for the squad. So I think he's just playing more responsibly in my opinion. I think he's realized that, and he's living up to his potential. Potential तो उनको पता ही है. So hence another very consistent performance, and I think he just got outfoxed by Bolt. I think वो बहुत ही unplayable सी delivery थी, and उस वक्त pressure इतना था scoreboard का कि they had to go for a boundary almost every ball. वरना वो शायद out नहीं होते आज. So yeah, good performance by Samson. Just got unlucky. Couldn't accelerate in the end because Bumrah and Bolt were bowling really well.
Right, absolutely. When you're a young captain, when you're a wicket keeper in India, there's always a little bit of pressure on you. There's always that extra dabaw on you that, yes, I have to perform. When you're captaining the side for the first time, as you rightly said, that's always a huge pressure, a huge tag on you, which clearly in the coming times, I think Sanju Samson can shrug off and completely can focus on batting and captaincy. But again, Ashwin, एक चीज के बारे में आपसे एक और मैं बात करना चाहता हूँ कि जयंत यादव जो है आज काफी एक्सपेंसिव रहा है. We just saw the scorecard, 37 runs in 3 overs. So he was included in the team ahead of Ishan Kishan. That kind of made sense because this is a slow and sluggish condition. But थोड़ा सवाल उठेंगे रोहित शर्मा का कैप्टनसी के ऊपर when there's Jos Buttler playing in the power play and these are very small grounds in Delhi. Why would you get an off spinner? I mean, can you like throw some light on this move of Rohit Sharma?
Good question here. Very surprised. If you ask me in my personal opinion, I don't agree that this was the kind of wicket जहाँ पे स्पिनर एक एडिशनल स्पिनर की जरूरत थी. बिल्कुल भी. दिल्ली एक ऐसा ग्राउंड है जहाँ पे अगर आप विकेट देखें तो इतनी कोई टर्न करती नहीं है बॉल. It doesn't turn that much. Rahul Chahar is a very experienced T20 campaigner, and hence he brings that experience with him, and he takes a regular interval. But even somebody like Chennai, अगर आप चेन्नई का भी स्क्वाड देखें जिनके पास इतने सारे स्पिनर्स हैं, but they also opted to have Lungi and Gidi play on this wicket compared to anybody else. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that all teams are wanting to have another fast bowler. आज Coulter Nile को क्यों खिलाया गया? Because they felt that they needed another additional fast bowler. This is not a spinning track. So very surprising move to get Jayant Yadav. I think they got carried away with that strategy कि दूसरे end पे left-handers बहुत सारे हैं. Because we've seen Rohit Sharma do that with Delhi as well. क्योंकि जब भी Delhi आती है तो they get Jayant Yadav because they feel बहुत सारे left-handers हैं batting order में. So I think it was that kind of a tactical move कि बहुत left-handers हैं तो we'll get a off spinner. But that move completely backfired because आपने उनको Jos Buttler के against भेज दिया and he became comfortable. He completely unleashed. अगर उस टाइम पे जयंत यादव नहीं आते, उनको ऑफ स्पिन नहीं मिलती स्लो, जो इतनी रन भी नहीं करती थी, सो जॉस बटलर से फंसने वाले थे क्योंकि ऑलरेडी उनका ही गॉट अ बिट लकी, उनका बच रहे थे, उनके कैचेस बच रहे थे, रन आउट बच रहे थे. सो ही वाज लुकिंग अंडर प्रेशर बिकॉज ही हैड नॉट गिवन एनी गुड परफॉर्मेंस इन द लास्ट फ्यू गेम्स. तो आपने अलाउ करा बटलर को फॉर्म में आने के लिए, आपने अलाउ करा बटलर टू अनलीश बाय ब्रिंगिंग जयंत यादव अगेंस्ट ऑन अ विकेट दैट्स नॉट टर्निंग. Yeah, I don't think it was a great move to get in Jayant Yadav, considering that the wicket doesn't really turn much, and दूसरे sides ने भी हमेशा they've opted for a fast bowler over the spinners. But you don't know how the team thinks about it, and like I said, probably it was a decision based on the opposition's lineup.
I completely agree. I do not think so. The spin quotient actually came into the mind of Rohit Sharma. वो जो दूसरे एंड पे लेफ्ट हैंडर्स ज्यादा थे, डेविड मिलर थे, यशस्वी जायसवाल थे, शिवम दुबे थे. I think I completely agree on this. But Ashwin, I'd also like to talk about Mumbai's bowling today. I mean, Rahul Chahar, what a sensation. Every single match, I think, is the leading wicket taker of Mumbai too. Every single match, he's going to put up his hand. He's going to tell people that, yes, I am here to perform. I recently played for India. There's absolutely no pressure and I will perform. So he's taken 2 wickets today, conceded just 33 runs. So any comments on somebody like Rahul Chahar, who's such a magician, and he's a leg spinner, he's performing so well. So these are good signs for Team India too, because Chahal has been blowing a little hot and cold. So do you think that Rahul Chahar will actually present a strong case considering the T20 World Cup is knocking at the door?
Definitely, he already has. अगर आप पहले भी इंडिया के इंटरनेशनल आउटिंग्स देखें तो they are backing Rahul Chahar definitely because they feel चहल थोड़े से अंडर परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं. And we know that Rahul Chahar is a very good bowler for Mumbai. हमेशा विकेट टेकिंग ऑप्शन रहते हैं. Whenever Rohit Sharma feels कि विकेट मिडिल ओवर्स में नहीं निकल रहा है because he doesn't want to waste the overs of Bumrah, तो हमेशा राहुल चहर को लेके आता है और हमेशा विकेट लेते हैं. He's a go-to wicket taking option. So I am not surprised by his performance. I've always been very confident of Rahul Chahar's capabilities और मैं तो हमेशा ही उनको बैक करता हूँ as a front line bowler who will always give you something when the team's in a tough spot. और अगर आज हम उनके टैलेंट की बात करें तो पता ही चलता है गेम में देख के कि जो दोनों विकेट्स उन्होंने ली वो एक छक्का खाने के बाद ली। तो जॉर्ज बटलर ने उनको एक छक्का मारा बहुत लंबा और उसके बाद उनकी विकेट ली। फिर दूसरे बैट्समैन भी जब आए उन्होंने उनको छक्का मारा फिर उनकी विकेट ली। दैट जस्ट शोज व्हाट एन अग्रेसिव माइंडसेट ही हैज कि ही वेंट फॉर बाउंड्री but still came back so strongly and took the wickets. So that just shows what a brilliant talent he is. That he knows how to come back in the game.
Absolutely amazing resilience proven by Rahul Chahar. As you said rightfully, he's been backed by Mumbai Indians for a very long time. And when you're backing, when the team management, जब captain आपको इतना देर से back कर रहा है, तो definitely you have to produce that performance on the ground, and he's been doing that too. So Ashwin, it's already been 1 over, it's 4 runs. It's a very steady start from Mumbai Indians so far. What are your predictions? Do you see this is going to be a smooth chase for Mumbai Indians, or do you think Rajasthan Royals, with that very inexperienced bowling lineup, somehow making inroads and getting this match into their radar?
No, too few runs on the board. I think a couple of runs short on the board. This is definitely Mumbai's game.
Even when there's no dew, you think it's Mumbai's game completely?
Yeah, it's Mumbai's game. Runs short on the scoreboard.
Right. If Ashwin has said this is Mumbai's game, then this is definitely going to be Mumbai's game. Thank you so much, Ashwin, for joining. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And thank you so much, viewers. This was the mid-inning show of Sports Tiger. Stay tuned for more such amazing content. And we'll be back again in the post-match show. Thank you, guys. Cheers.